Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So I am still stuck in quarantine right now, but the good news, at least for me, is I am almost out. Today is my last day. But anyway, today we have an unboxing of the Redmi Note 11. This is the global version that's going to be releasing in Europe and in India and other parts of Asia, like Southeast Asia, pretty soon. So this is different from the China version that was released in China like a month and a half ago. Redmi has a habit of doing this. They will release a Redmi device in China and then one internationally, and they're like two completely different phones. Anyway, Redmi's Note series have been known for being a really good value. I don't know the official price of this phone at the time of me unboxing yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be under like $250 US. So this is the standard Redmi Note 11. There's also going to be a Redmi Note 11 Pro. In fact, there was actually 4 devices this year, a 11S and 11 Pro 5G, but I'm only going to test the standard Note 11 and the Note 11 Pro. Let's begin with the unboxing. Let's check out what's in the package first. So we have a SIM ejector tool right here, and then you have a screen protector, some instructions booklets, and a soft jelly case. And here's the phone. We'll put it to the side first. And then here is a USB-C cable and a 33-watt fast charging brick. This is a European brick, so this model is meant for the European market. Now we have the phone right here. We see that it runs on a Snapdragon 680. It has a 90Hz AMOLED display. Now the Pro version is going to have a 120Hz display. This is the standard model, so only 90, and 33-watt fast charging with a 5,000 mAh batteries. 5,000 mAh battery in a device relatively thin like this is impressive. This, I believe, measures 8.9 millimeters in thickness, and the phone is relatively lightweight. It weighs only 179 grams. Okay, so I'm going to boot up the phone, set it up, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back with the global version of the Redmi Note 11. So let's go over the hardware. This phone screen looks pretty good. Maximum brightness gets up to 1000 nits. As you can see right now, it's clearly visible even though I am under direct sunlight. This animation's 90 Hz, they are pretty smooth. Not as zippy as a 120 Hz panel, but this is, considering this is a budget phone, I think this is pretty good. And you have a little bit of a chin here, which you don't see anymore on flagship or mid-range phones. But other than the chin, the rest of the phone is pretty slim bezels. The screen's also completely flat with these flat sides. Now, these sides are not as straight up flat as like an iPhone 12 or 13 or like the recent, like the Oppo devices or the Vivo V23 I tested with the complete iPhone like flat sides. So these are flat, but the corners are still a little bit chamfered, so they don't look as much like it's trying to look like an iPhone 13. It has its own distinct look. Now on the right side of the frame is a volume rocker and a power button that doubles as a fingerprint sensor. The fingerprint sensor is fast and accurate. Just one tap, it turns on. And Redmi's actually built this shortcut gestures for when you double tap the fingerprint sensor. So you just jump into settings, you go into additional settings, gesture shortcuts, and then right here you can tap that. When you double tap on the sensor, it will turn on an app. You can have it say pull down the control center anytime you double tap. Now, because this is a budget phone, obviously some of the components are not going to be the absolute best or newest that you can get. So this phone only has 64 gigs of RAM. It's a UFS 2.2, so it's not the latest memory configuration, and there's also only 4 gigs of RAM in here. Now 64 gigs of storage is going to be a little bit low for most people, but the good news is in this SIM card slot, which also supports dual SIM, it's a slot for micro SD card, so that means you can expand your storage. Now on the other hand, Redmi did not cheap out with build material. You're not getting like a cheap plastic back here. This is a glass back. Now this color is a little bit dull, but there are other variants or other colorways that look much more enticing. Like, I really like this kind of light blue that I'm seeing in product shots. This color is basically the most boring of the bunch. It's a little bit understated. Now the frame is aluminum, And the front glass is Gorilla Glass 3. So again, not the latest Gorilla Glass Victus, but at least it's still Gorilla Glass, not like generic no-name glass. Now you have a small hole punch here housing a 13 megapixel selfie camera, and around the back you have this camera system. Once again, it looks like it's a quad camera system, but I would say look at it as a dual camera system because you have a 50 megapixel main camera right here and then 8 megapixel ultra wide. And then the other two sensors are these 2 megapixel sensors that virtually do nothing. So just look at this phone as a dual camera system. Now the 50 megapixel main camera actually does a pretty good job. You can see that it has a shallow depth of field whenever you bring something close to the lens. Focusing is pretty fast and photo quality is pretty good for this budget price range. Of course, you can't compare it to phones in the $600, $700 price range. In terms of video recording, you also max out at just 1080p, so you cannot shoot in 4K. Now, the Snapdragon 680 SoC is a 6nm chip, so it's pretty powerful, even though it's obviously no match for the Snapdragon Gen 1, but you will be able to run basically any app that you download from the Google Play Store without any issues here. Now, you also have a headphone jack up top, which some of you guys are going to like, along with an IR blaster. And you see here there's also a speaker grill on the top frame, and this is a real speaker grill. It's not like decoration. So this phone has stereo speakers and they point outward, so this is a true stereo system. In fact, let's test it out. It actually sounds pretty loud. So I'm going to do copyright free music first because I'm tired of getting copyright strikes. So you have sound coming from the top and bottom speakers. You see, even when I cover the speaker with my finger, you can still hear the music pretty clearly. So the Redmi Note 11 also supports NFC, and when I set up the phone, it already asked me if I want to set up Google Pay. So you should be able to use Google Pay in Europe without any issue. And this phone even has IP53 splash resistant, so it's not quite waterproof. You can't like dip this into a swimming pool, but if it's raining outside, it should be okay. Like it's gonna withstand some rain. So ultimately, the Redmi Note 11, it's another high value phone. Like, again, I don't know the official price for this phone, but I would be shocked if it's over $250 US. It might even be a little bit less than that. And for this price, you're getting a large high refresh rate screen, excellent speakers, a pretty solid main camera. That's about it though. The other lenses are a little bit below par, and a decent SoC. Now again, this color is a little bit dull, but if you get a different color, it will look pretty nice. And this phone comes with everything you need out of the box. You have a case, you have a screen protector. It's kind of funny that when you buy budget phones, you get all the stuff you need, whereas when you buy flagship phones, you get like nothing. You have to go buy a screen protector, buy a case, even buy a charger. So anyway, that's about it for this first look of the Redmi Note 11. I will be getting the Redmi Note 11 Pro sometime down the line, so I will test that too, but I don't know when that's coming. But I'm gonna be out of quarantine in one day, and when I'm out, I have a lot of devices to test, man, including a folding phone and a bunch of other stuff. So stay tuned to this channel if you want to keep up to date with all the latest tech, and especially tech for China. So anyway, that's about it for this video, man. Take care, stay healthy. Thanks for watching.